Hello and welcome to our channel. Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Mr. Wilson was 72 years old, but he didn't feel old at all. Every morning, he woke up at 6, stretched his arms and smiled. "I'm still here," he would say to himself with a little laugh. "Let's make today exciting." He lived in a small, cozy house near the town library. It had a red door, 2 big windows, and a small garden where he grew tomatoes and flowers. His wife had passed away many years ago, and his children lived in different cities. Still, Mr. Wilson never felt lonely. Why? Because Mr. Wilson had a secret. Every day, he did something new to keep his brain young. One day, he was sitting on the park bench feeding birds when a boy came running. He looked about 10 years old and had a backpack almost bigger than him. "Hello," the boy said cheerfully. "Hello there, Mr. Wilson smiled. "What's your name?" "I'm Liam. I come here after school," the boy said. "Are you a teacher?" Mr. Wilson chuckled. "No, but I'm always learning." "Learning?" Liam looked confused. "But you're old." Mr. Wilson laughed loudly. "Exactly. That's why I learn." Liam sat beside him. "What do you learn?" Mr. Wilson opened his little notebook. Inside were notes, drawings, and new words. "Today," he said, "I'm learning Spanish and some science facts. Yesterday, I learned how to bake cookies. Want to see?" He showed Liam a small photo. "These are oatmeal cookies I made myself." Liam looked surprised. "Why do you learn so much?" Mr. Wilson leaned closer and said softly, "Because when you stop learning, your brain gets lazy. And a lazy brain makes a boring life." Liam thought about it. "So if I learn new things, my brain stays strong." "Exactly," Mr. Wilson said. "Just like you exercise your body, you must exercise your mind." Liam looked impressed. "Can you teach me something?" "Of course, Mr. Wilson said with a sparkle in his eyes. "Let's start with 5 new English words." He opened his notebook again and pointed. Word 1, curious, wanting to know more. Word 2, adventure, an exciting experience. Word 3, discover, to find something new. Word 4, create, to make something. Word 5, improve, to get better. Can you use these words in a sentence? Mr. Wilson asked. Liam thought for a moment. "I am curious about how to bake. I want to go on a baking adventure. I will discover new recipes, create cookies, and improve my baking skills." Mr. Wilson clapped. "Bravo, that's a perfect sentence." From that day on, Liam came to the park every afternoon. Together, he and Mr. Wilson learned new words, played memory games, and told each other stories. One day, Mr. Wilson brought a small box. Inside were flashcards with pictures and words. "This game is called What Happens Next," he said. He pulled the first card. It showed a boy holding an umbrella under a tree. "What happens next?" Mr. Wilson asked. Liam smiled. "A strong wind blows, and the umbrella flies away." "Great," Mr. Wilson said. "Now tell me the story in English." Liam tried his best. The boy stands under the tree. The wind comes. The umbrella goes up, up, up. The boy runs and shouts, but the umbrella is gone. Mr. Wilson laughed. "Perfect. And look, you used present tense. You're learning fast." Liam grinned. "This is fun. It's better than school." "Learning doesn't have to be boring, Mr. Wilson said. "It can be fun, creative, and full of surprise." Suddenly, Liam asked, "Do you ever forget things?" Mr. Wilson became quiet. He looked at the trees and birds and then said gently, "Yes, sometimes I do. That's why I try harder. I read, write, speak, listen. Every day. It helps." Liam nodded slowly. "I want to be like you when I'm old." Mr. Wilson smiled. "Then start now. Don't wait. Every word you learn, every idea you explore makes your brain stronger." Liam opened his notebook and began to write. At the top, he wrote in big letters, "Brain Gym Day 1." He wrote his 5 new words again and drew pictures beside each one. The next day, Liam came running to the park, his notebook bouncing in his hand. "Mr. Wilson! Mr. Wilson!" he shouted excitedly. Mr. Wilson looked up from his book and smiled. "Well, someone's full of energy today. I wrote a whole story using the 5 words you taught me," Liam said proudly. "That's wonderful. Can you read it to me?" Liam cleared his throat and read aloud. One day, a curious boy went into the forest. He wanted an adventure. He walked and walked until he discovered a cave. Inside, he created a map of the treasure. Each time he explored, he improved his courage. Mr. Wilson clapped his hands. "Bravo, that's creative and smart." Liam beamed. Can we learn more words today? Of course, mister, Wilson said, taking out his notebook. Let's add 5 more. Word 6, challenge, something that is difficult but helps you grow. Word 7, focus, to pay close attention. Word 8, mistake, something wrong that you can learn from. Word 9, success, when you do something well. Word 10, practice, doing something again and again to get better. Mr. Wilson explained, all great learners face challenges, but they don't give up. They focus, learn from their mistakes, and with practice, they find success. Liam repeated the words out loud. Challenge, focus, mistake, success, practice. Now, Mr. Wilson said, let's play a game. I'll say a sentence with a blank, and you guess the missing word. Okay, Mr. Wilson smiled and began. 1. Learning English is a fun, but it takes time. Challenge, Liam said quickly. 2. When you study, you need to on your goal. Focus. 3. It's okay to make a, just don't stop trying. Mistake. 4. After weeks of hard work, Liam finally had. He spoke English without fear. Success. 5. You won't get better unless you. Every day, a little more. Practice. Mr. Wilson clapped again. Perfect score. Liam jumped with joy. I feel like my brain is growing. Mr. Wilson nodded. It is. Your brain is like a tree. The more you feed it with good thoughts, the stronger it becomes. Suddenly, Liam looked thoughtful. Mr. Wilson, can I ask you something personal? Of course, my boy. Were you always smart? Mr. Wilson laughed gently. No, when I was your age, I struggled with reading. I didn't like books. I thought I wasn't smart enough. What changed? I met someone, an old teacher. He told me something I never forgot. What did he say? Liam leaned forward. Mr. Wilson whispered, he said, smart is not something you are. It's something you become when you don't stop learning. Liam's eyes sparkled. That's amazing. I'm going to remember that. Mr. Wilson pointed at Liam's heart. Then put it here. And one day, you'll teach it to someone else. The sun was beginning to set, and the birds flew back to their nests. Liam stood up, his notebook full of new words, ideas, and dreams. Tomorrow, I'll bring something for you. Liam said. Oh, Mr. Wilson smiled. What will it be? It's a surprise, Liam winked. But I think you'll like it. Mr. Wilson chuckled. I'm looking forward to it. As Liam ran off, Mr. Wilson looked at the sky and whispered to himself, every day is a gift. And some gifts come with notebooks and big dreams. The next afternoon, Mr. Wilson was already sitting on the park bench, waiting with curiosity. The sun was warm, and a soft breeze danced through the trees. Soon, Liam came running toward him, holding something behind his back. Mr. Wilson, are you ready for your surprise? I've been waiting all day, Mr. Wilson said, with a playful smile. What is it? Liam pulled out a small plastic container with a red lid. Cookies. I baked them myself. Mr. Wilson's eyes widened. You baked these? All by yourself? Well, Liam grinned, with a little help from YouTube and my grandma. Mr. Wilson opened the lid and took a deep breath. They smell delicious. What kind are they? Oatmeal raisin, Liam said proudly. Just like the ones you made last week. Mr. Wilson took a bite. Soft, chewy, and perfectly sweet. You, my friend, are a natural baker. Liam sat beside him, holding his notebook. And guess what? I wrote the recipe in English. You're amazing, Mr. Wilson said, truly impressed. Do you want to teach me this time? Liam nodded. Yes, I wrote it like steps. Let's read it together. He flipped open the notebook and began. How to make oatmeal raisin cookies by Liam. Ingredients: 1 cup of oats, 1/2 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of butter, 1 egg, 1/2 cup of raisins, a pinch of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Steps: mix butter and sugar. Add egg and mix again. Add oats, flour, salt, and cinnamon. Stir in the raisins. Make small balls and place them on a tray. Bake for 12 minutes at 180 degrees C. Let cool. Eat and smile. That's written so clearly, Mr. Wilson said. You used imperative sentences, perfect for instructions. Liam looked curious. What's an imperative sentence? It's a sentence that gives a command or instruction, Mr. Wilson explained. Like, mix the flour or read this story. No subject, just action. Oh, Liam said. So recipes use imperative sentences. Exactly, Mr. Wilson nodded. And you used them perfectly. Liam took a bite of his own cookie and asked, can we learn some kitchen-related words today? Great idea, Mr. Wilson said, pulling out his vocabulary cards. Let's do 5 more words. Word 11, measure, to find the size or amount of something. Word 12, stir, to mix something by moving it around. Word 13, bake, to cook in an oven. Word 14, recipe, instructions for cooking something. Word 15, delicious, very tasty. Now try using them in a short paragraph, Mr. Wilson challenged. Liam thought for a moment and began. I found a new recipe in a book. I carefully measured the ingredients and started to stir the mixture. Then, I baked it for 20 minutes. The result was delicious. Perfect again, Mr. Wilson said. You're getting stronger with every word. Liam grinned. It's like working out, but for my brain. Mr. Wilson nodded. Exactly. And your brain is already lifting heavy English weights. They both laughed. Just then, a soft voice came from behind them. Excuse me, said a girl around Liam's age. She had short hair, glasses, and a curious smile. Are you two doing English lessons? Liam looked surprised. Yes, sort of. Mr. Wilson teaches me. She sat on the other side of the bench. That's cool. I'm Maya. I just moved here. Mr. Wilson smiled kindly. Welcome, Maya. Would you like to join us? She nodded shyly. I'd like that. Liam turned to Mr. Wilson. Looks like we're starting a brain club. Even better, Mr. Wilson said. A brain gym. Maya giggled. Do we get cookies too? Liam laughed. Only if you learn 5 new words. Mr. Wilson leaned back on the bench, watching the two young minds light up. This, he thought, is how we keep the brain young. Days passed, and the brain gym became a daily routine. Every afternoon, Liam and Maya came to the park with notebooks, questions, and smiles. Mr. Wilson brought new words, fun games, and short stories to challenge their growing minds. One day, as the golden sun dipped low, Mr. Wilson looked at the two children and said, Do you know what makes me happiest? Liam and Maya shook their heads. It's not cookies, he smiled. It's seeing young people love learning. Maya grinned. You helped us see that learning is fun and powerful, Liam added. Now I want to read more, write more, and share more. Mr. Wilson's eyes twinkled. That's how we keep the brain young, not just by learning, but by sharing what we learn. Liam opened his notebook and turned to the first page. I wrote something here on the first day. Brain gym, day 1. Maya smiled. Now we're on day 30. Mr. Wilson nodded, and every day added a new brick to the house of your mind. One day, you'll build castles with your knowledge. Liam stood up and said, You're not just our teacher, you're our inspiration. Mr. Wilson chuckled. And you two are mine. They all looked at the sky, calm, wide, and full of light. The park was quiet, the birds were flying home, and the wind carried the soft laughter of learners who had found more than just words. They had found purpose. And with that, the brain gym continued, not just in the park, but in their hearts forever. The end. Brain sparkles.